This is Aaron from the We That We Be saying, welcome to Lofi Poli Sci show.
We That We Be. Shout out to Aaron for bringing us into the show today. Lofi Poli Sci coming at you for a Southern Africa edition. That's Lofi Global. Let's get straight to it. The news, fresh off that press. Starting out in Mozambique today, where the president of the country has formally invited the new president of Kenya to come on by for an official state visit. So this may seem like not a big deal. Somewhat like a president of one country invites a newly elected president of another country to come visit. Like, who cares? But actually, a lot of people care about this. You see, Kenya's election was hotly contested, all right? And the Supreme Court just announced that they side with the election results. And this new president is, in fact, the new president. And being invited by another country, another African country's president, to come for an official state visit, that's international recognition. That's international legitimacy. That's electoral authority. And well, yeah, a lot of people care about this. And it shows regional cooperation amongst political leaders. Like, let's check out this next story, which involves other leaders of other countries around the region working together. Malawi and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's see what's going down there. So the SADC, also known as the Southern African Development Community, is a regional development organization made up of 16 Southern African countries. And which ones, you might be asking? Oh, you know me, I love a good list. We have Angola, Botswana, Comoros, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini, Lesotho, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Mozambique, Namibia, Seychelles, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. All right, so the chairmanship of the community was just handed over from the president of Malawi to the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this development community, this is incredibly important because it's for the development of Southern African countries made up by Southern African countries. It's programs that they work on together for the benefit of themselves, for the benefit of the entire region. It's not just some far-off Western-backed organization or some Chinese firm that are only half-heartedly wanting to see these countries develop. No, it's a group of countries getting together with the specific purpose of helping each other, because they know to help one another is, in fact, to help themselves. But, let's be fair, not all Western institutions or non-African institutions are just trying to take advantage of developing countries. No, not all of them. Check out this next story out in Lesotho, who is part of the Southern African Development Community, but is still getting some help from the World Bank to the tune of $52 million to help launch a new program called the Lesotho Entrepreneurship Hub and Seed Financing Facility. Whole lot of fancy words in there. What's it all mean? Well, what you see, this is a program aimed directly at securing international funds to help develop domestic programs, to help develop entrepreneurs, local businesses, local companies, and in particular, aiming to help the youth and women in the country. Two groups who have been traditionally marginalized in Lesotho, who have high unemployment rates, who need more economic opportunities. And this new program looks to do exactly that, create business opportunities and the funds to give out to these individuals to start those opportunities. And I am really, really interested to see how this is going to roll out. So it's the Ministry of Trade from Lesotho government and the World Bank working together. And if we can see economic development in Lesotho, that development can spread to quite a few other countries around. Because remember, Lesotho is an SADC country. So what's good for one country potentially good for the region? Potentially good for trade? International trade? Could very well be. And to that tune, let's think about what else could be good for international trade and in the region, right? Because international trade, more likely than not, takes place between two neighboring countries. Because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to trade with a country that's right next door than it is to trade with a country that's halfway around the world from you. So let's look at this last piece. To Namibia and Botswana we go. The two countries have just announced the free movement of people across each other's borders, meaning you no longer need a passport to move from one country to the other. Meaning if you're in Namibia going to Botswana, or Botswana going to Namibia, you no longer need a passport. Now, this hasn't taken place just yet, but it is really, really close to happening. And people, the free movement of individuals is a really good thing for economic opportunity, for trade, for tourism, for innovation. Both of these countries are, again, Southern African Development Community members. And in fact, what we're seeing is an effort to try to do this for all 16 member countries. And I mean, hell, even like Zimbabwe right now, also an SADC member, they are just about having it finalized that by the end of this month, if you have a driver's license in any one of the 16 countries, you can legally drive in Zimbabwe. What does all this sound like to you? Like some integration, perhaps? And really, all of this feeds into a larger African Union plan. That's part of the African Union Agenda 2063, which is to create a continent of complete free movement of people across the more than 50 countries that make up Africa. And look, all of these stories today are pointing to a very, very important direction for Southern Africa. That they are moving forward with integration and economic interdependence, and with helping each other and helping themselves with development across all of their countries and the continent. And that, my friends, is a pretty amazing thing. Eyes open on Southern Africa, people. Lots going down. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Check us out on lofipolisci.com. Give the weekly blog a read. And hey, it's not a cliche or a catchphrase. It's a lifestyle. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Pickering, signing off.